I did it.
The Kardashians, the Jenners, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. There's so many celebrities where their focus is on the rear end. And so young women then undergo this operation as a way to try to get bodies like their idols.
I'm not gonna do it, girl. I was just thinking about it. I'm not gonna do it. I did it.
The surgery starts by liposuctioning, removing fat from certain body parts. Typically the abdomen, the hips, and the thighs are very common areas. That fat is then purified and then it is re-injected into the buttocks utilizing small incisions.
Your body's gonna swell like a big balloon. General anesthesia makes you nauseous.
It can be a fairly straightforward recovery if you have a couple of hundred cc's that's taken out of your body and injected into the buttocks. But some doctors will do quite extensive operations where they'll inject a liter or more into each butt cheek. Recovery, once again, depends on just how much fat is removed and injected. Those areas where you have the fat removed, you've had liposuction. They are going to be sore. They may drain fluid and even blood through the incisions for several days. As far as the buttocks, it is important after the operation not to sit on the buttocks. You want to avoid putting pressure onto those areas. The problem is that if this operation is performed by a cosmetic surgeon who does not have proper training in how to safely perform this operation, people can die, and they can die very, very quickly. If you're going to inject the buttocks with fat, you must inject it into the subcutaneous layer, that layer between the skin and the underlying muscle. If a doctor does not know this, if they've never studied this, if they're dabbling in it and they inject the fat deep into the muscle of the buttocks, which has been a very common thing, then the death rate goes up significantly due to a complication called fat embolism. And the horrifying part about this is that you can die literally within minutes. And who's dying from these operations? It's usually young women, and often young women of color. The fat that is injected into the buttocks with a BBL is permanent, but not all of it will stay. Anywhere from about 30 to 50% of the fat that is injected into the buttocks with this operation will stay long term. 5 years, 10 years, probably even longer. If you have a pretty conservative BBL and it's a couple hundred cc's maybe injected into your buttocks, that most likely is not going to cause your buttocks to have, let's say, premature aging as you get older. But if you're injecting 1 to 2 liters into each butt cheek, how is that fat going to stay there as you get older and your skin gets droopy? Those are things that haven't really been looked at because the operation hasn't been around necessarily long enough for us to get those long-term studies and those long-term results.